repping Taiwan as well.
Yeah, it is nice. It is nice, Paulo. I like seeing all the different regions come together, facing off against each other, and showing off their own like unique regional play styles. I think that's one of my favorite things about the season finals.
Yeah, it's very flavorful, and you never know really how they're gonna stack up against each other. We've talked, or in general, it's been echoed that North America's a little bit clowny or silly sometimes, but hey, they really brought it to the Europeans and Koreans, and that's just so refreshing and so great to see, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's just the idea that even if it's not necessarily the super duper refined look that sometimes you'd expect for top level StarCraft, it can throw you off if you're just not really experienced or used to seeing what these guys are doing, and you start making mistakes when you're out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, you can really bring the chaos to anyone. Anyone will play below their standard because that's the nature of a chaotic game, and that's exactly what Nice is most likely gonna be looking for here. First, he's gonna find a delay on this CC. TY already has 400 resources. He wants to drop it. And so that's going to be about 100 minerals late, not too bad of a start.
Yeah, definitely a nice little start there for Nice. Now, he is going for the low ground wall off over there. Overall, it looks like a pretty normal-ish opening there for Nice. Going to get up a second gas geyser and everything, gets up a first adept to help deal with the Reaper, and might send it across the map and get up a second adept in the meanwhile. Ooh, actually very nice timing for this probe to come back in. The SCV is also pretty still softened up.
Yeah, that's beautiful. It's going to force the Reaper back. That allows, like you were saying, now there's an Adept play where maybe the Adept can cross the map. The SCV has already been delayed, and a second Adept will take the defense role instead. So so that was very, very nice gameplay from Nice. It's also going to make it so that this Reaper scouts much later, and he's going to have to pull back. Is there going to be time for the bunker to finish? Is there a bunker on the way? No, there isn't. So I think Nice is going to get a nice little delay on this CC. This is wonderful.
Yeah, keeping the SCV alive is, of course, going to be pretty important here. TY really doesn't want to have to lose a bit more than he really has to. But, oh, boy, it looks like he's going to be able to get that kill and push the Reaper back. Remember, the Reaper has still not moved across the map. And when you go for this kind of opening as TY, the Reaper is the scout. And, yes, I have to say, Nice is not doing anything that strange. Like, there is a Stargate on the way, you're right. But this is not that strange. The only thing is TY doesn't know that outside of just there were two Adepts opening up.
Yeah, this was fantastic. It wasn't super different than what most people do, but it was very well done, and it had its little flair to it, and its few tricks in there with the probe coming back and pulling back the Reaper. So it was really, really well done by Nice, and this is a very good start. Does lose an Adept pulling back, but it looks like he's fine for now.
Well, I mean, Reaper goes in the main base. It scouts out the Stargate and the Oracle as the Oracle just popped out. And it seems like with just the one Hellion out right now, there is a Widow Mine drop that's going to be prepared up, potentially with some Marines. But for now, the Hellion is just going to be poking forward, and Nice is not going to have to utilize that wall in too much.
Indeed. There's going to be a second Oracle coming up, so Revelation is going to be important against Widow Mine drops and the likes, but it looks like Nice is barely going to miss this. Oh, did he see it? Ravi, did he see it?
I don't know.
So difficult to say. If he might have seen it for a second, but I'm not sure. Is he pulling back? Is he reacting?
It's going to be really questionable because he also just scouted that the factory had the tech lab already on it. Okay, well, he's going to see the medevac now, so he should at least be somewhat prepared to pull his workers.
Nice, please. Nice, please.
Okay, well, dangerous.
Yeah, that got very dangerous and uncharacteristic mistakes from TY. He could have manually... Well, look at Nice, though. That was beautiful gameplay with the Adept. And luckily for him, the shield battery is going to run out. But with these Oracles, he's going to be able to clean up nicely regardless. Not a bad start once again.
Yeah, the unload over here should be able to save the medevac. And TY having lost that to Widow Mine is going to be a bit problematic for him to get too much more damage done, especially with additional Warpins coming out over here for Nice. But remember, he also forced Nice to pull all the way back with all these Stargate units that really wanted to be a bit more aggressive right now. Almost loses one of the medevacs. Might lose it to the Viking. Oh, there's the final shot.
Yeah, the Viking goes down or the Phoenix goes down instead. And yeah, like I was saying, Ravi, I think that TY with that Widowmine drop made a small mistake because he thought Nice already saw me with the Adept, so I'm just gonna drop right away, most likely, right? But really, he could have dropped the mine first. Just click on the mine first, because when you drop like 3 Marines before the mine, the announcer will tell you, hey, your stuff is under attack. So you get like a 2 or 3 second heads up instead of no heads up at all. So that could have been huge.
Interesting choice. I get that Nice had already invested in these Stargate units and felt like maybe he needed to get value out of them. But an interesting choice to dive in there when he saw that there were Vikings being made.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it might be that kind of thing where he's really just looking to try and make whatever happen, create chaos out of thin air. But yeah, I'm completely with you here, Ravi. Oh, he's going to try again. This time he has the superior count to take down the Vikings. We'll snipe one and leave. That's great play from Nice this time around.
Yeah, getting some free trades with just a bit of health taken off. Has to be very careful with these units. One of those Phoenix still very low on hit points. He sees that there is this big move out. And what does Nice have back on the other side? He just warped in a good round of Adepts. Those Adepts have a lot of work to do to make this defense happen. Remember, there's no combat shields, there's no stim or anything on these Marines. There's absolutely a chance that Nice can crush this.
Yeah, the tanks are not sieged. Nice is gonna pick him up regardless. I'm not sure if that is the best choice. The Adepts are attacking one of the tanks that is not the best focus fire for Nice, but he has so many stalkers here. Gonna target the medevac. There's no escape now for these units, Ravi, and they're all gonna go down. Beautiful cleanup from Nice.
Yeah. Well, the final bit of Marines are going to be falling over here. The Adept gets the final shot off onto the siege tank, lifts up the Widowmine, prevents that. Oh my god, Cats, Nice is playing so well today.
Yeah, I mean, it's still, TY is very much in this game. He has 3 orbitals working. That was that was aggression, but it wasn't super committed yet. Still, Nice, like you said, he's playing good. He's out on the map right now. He has something to work with. And TY perhaps overreacting, or is he? Nice actually going for the kill right away. The Adepts will shade onto the tank, Ravi, and I'm not sure this is working out though. Okay.
He gets one of the siege tanks, and I guess really at the end of the day, he just loses the Adepts. I'm with you. I'm not a massive fan of the big shade over there in the committal, but I guess he at least scared, like you said, TY a bit, got him to pull a bunch of SCVs off the line, killed off a few, killed off a tank. I mean, there's some value there, but Nice. I really feel like the name of the game for a little bit is going to be keep some of your units alive, buddy.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that those Adepts threatening TY's expansion would be so strong, right? Just sitting right outside and shading in and making sure that TY is delayed to move out and to take his third, I think is the sure advantage that he could have taken, given that he already has his third established, right? Like, this shouldn't be happening right now, but giving up those Adepts makes that possible for TY a little bit faster. Yet still Nice, not in a bad position. It's been a little bit of a hectic game, and yeah, I would give him odds in it. I would say I don't know, 40%.
There's one thing I don't like that Nice is doing though, Apollo, and he is gonna start rectifying that a little bit, but he has been sitting on 54 workers for a really long time. He finally started up workers, but I think it was almost like a minute and a half, maybe even a little bit longer, that he was just at 54 workers. That's why, even with all the little pressuring and everything that he's been able to do, even with all the workers he's been picking off with these Phoenix, he's not at like a really large worker lead. I think he is starting to accumulate a bit more with the chrono boost of the probes, but yeah, like the third base wasn't exactly fully saturated this entire time. So I do agree. I think TY is not in a terrible position.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that is maybe like if we look at the proxy that's now getting killed, the proxy gateway, then it's apparent that maybe he was looking to snowball with that first shade, where maybe, you know, he kills the tank and a few Marines, and the next warp-in is there to kill TY. So I think maybe he thought in his head, let's just lean in on the attack. So when it doesn't go as well, it just really hurts him a little bit.
Yeah, well, the Phoenix staying alive now is definitely going to be valuable, and even forcing out some stims over here. Remember, when you are up against a Phoenix player, your medevac count is always also going to be under constant threat. So you have to be a bit careful with those stims, because you might not actually have as many medevacs as you're used to in the end.
Yeah, Nice has done a very good job sharking around with this Phoenix, just looking at every move out and making sure that TY stays on point if he's gonna move out, because any isolated units will get picked off very easily, very quickly. The medevacs also gotta be careful. Okay, what do you think, Ravi? Does he have enough to hold?
I mean, I think it's all going to be very dependent on Storm over here, right? And that's not a fun thing to have to be reliant on when you're up against a player like TY, because
it's very early.
Usually you're going to be able to expect TY to be very prepared, and he is going to actually have his Marines a little bit pre-split over here. War Prism going to drop out some of those High Templars. Some Storms are coming down. Are they going to be enough? There's a lot of charge lots that were in the mix, but so many of them have evaporated at this point. Oh my god. Where do you even storm against that army, Cats? He was so well spread out.
Yeah, it was very difficult. I think he had to catch him in the choke or something of the likes. The High Templars were early, but just a little bit too late, regardless. And TY is going to take it. By that, I mean, like, they were early High Templars, right? They were just not early enough for the attack of TY, but I think ideally he would have caught him in the middle of the map and stormed them as he moved out.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that maybe would have been a better chance, because if you catch TY when he's set up, he's at your base and is like, okay, I know the fight is about to begin here. TY just starts kind of pre-spreading a little bit, does a great job. I only saw one, maybe two storms actually come out, so I don't know if TY just got a super quick snipe off on like the rest of the High Templars before they got to storm, but there was just, I don't actually know where Nice could have utilize those High Templars during that fight better. Yeah, I actually feel like there just wasn't really a lot of area to storm, and he needed Storm to hit big in order to survive that attack.
Absolutely agreed. Yeah, I think it was two storms. They mostly landed on empty space, but the tanks were at the front, right? And there were so many tanks at that point in time for TY that, yeah, if there was 4 High Templars in that War Prism, only 2 ever made it out and got to do their thing. So yeah, like, rough. I don't know. Maybe he could have just waited up the ramp a little bit longer or something of the likes. I'm not sure that low ground needed to be defended. But yeah, TY takes a decisive victory. That was a huge attack, and Nice just wasn't ready. Nice played a good game to start, though, Ravi. I mean, he started off strong, right?
Absolutely. I am already pretty impressed, because I was saying earlier, like, oh man, I feel like Nice has really just got to get super in TY's face with weird, unorthodox stuff. But it was actually a lot of the orthodox play that was working out pretty well for Nice, surprisingly. Now, I think the transition points and how quickly he was like resaturating his bases and stuff. You were talking about if he had been able to, if he was going to play a bit greedier, getting up Storm even a little bit faster would have probably been very useful for him. But like, I do wonder if you can just make those minor adjustments to transition a little bit faster. I actually don't mind a bit of a macro game that much anymore.
Yeah, what I do like also is that Nice has shown that he's willing to kind of just YOLO his units. And that sometimes pays off, right? Like it's not gonna pay off as much maybe against like GSL champion as it might on the ladder, right? Because your opponents are gonna make more mistakes than TY makes. But just the fact that this is possible from Nice and in his playbook, and that TY is now aware of him being able to do this, maybe TY has to give him a little bit more respect. Maybe that's something that Nice can play to, can lean into, and maybe from that play a more macro oriented or a greedier type game.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how that ends up panning out. Now, Tats, do you feel like TY is the kind of player who will, I feel like there's always this potential for the quote unquote better perceived player to approach a series. First game, they end up winning and they're like, I have a 1-game lead and I'm just the better player. I'm just not going to let you do anything weird. I'm just going to hit you before you get into your groove with my own cheese or my own super aggressive attack. And it just shuts down possibilities. Do you feel like TY is that kind of player, or is he just more of a, I'll play the macro game?
Difficult to say. I think he's a very strong macro player, but he is also a champion level player. And I think that that's a likely thing for a champion level player to do. And I think that we might very well see it here, to be honest, just because Terran is oftentimes the aggressive race anyway. I'm sure TY has some builds that he's working on. Maybe this is the best opportunity for him to kind of show versatility to the rest of the group, to the rest of the tournament as well, to maybe hide strategies if he feels super confident. So yeah, I'd say anything's possible.
Yeah, well, Cats, let's jump into the game in interest of players, because over here on the top left-hand side of the map, missing one of his probes from the very beginning of the game, it is the red Protoss. Nice. Alpha X Esports.
The bottom right-hand side, it is the GSL champion, Korea's #1 seed, TY.
man. And did Nice just pull his worker in the last game this early on as well?
I'm not sure, because he's just going inside right away, right? It seems a little bit odd. I thought it was gonna be like a max packs type pylon and something else. It looks like okay, there's a gas steal, so that could play into his plan as he takes 2 gases of his own behind that. Or actually, no, it's just 1 gas in production. I see the second gas, but that's on TY's end. So
yeah, that's fair. I understand that mistake where you look at the production tab and you see 2 gas guys in production. Yeah, gonna be kind of interesting. I really wonder what exactly he's trying to deny over here. Getting the second gas geyser like steal it's pretty interesting because it is going to be able to deny like quite as fast of a transition if you're going to play like on a 1 base style for a little bit longer. But how do you capitalize on that as Nice? He's going to actually get up a Zealot over here.
I kind of love it. Yeah, that's such a weird Zealot, right? And I think it's just gonna cross the map because he knows that there's no wall off, but the SCV can't spot it. Oh, Nice is so good. Okay, he's avoiding the SCV. I mean, he knows that there's an SCV out there, right? Like he saw it with his probe, leave with his probe. So he's gonna cross the map with a Zealot while the Reaper crosses on TY's end. Well, actually, is there a Reaper for TY? Yeah, there is.
I'm worried because that Reaper is gonna go uncontested for a bit, right? Like the first Reaper's already out, the Stalker just begun. Unless the Reaper is scouting around. Okay, it's actually just gonna sit at home. Cause yeah, TY is like, wait, you're doing something here.
Yeah. I think the Stalker would pop up in time, especially with the gateway there, right? Like it's already out. But yeah, Nice is the Reaper is waiting for that Zealot. It seems like TY is maybe aware of Nice's antics. I'm not sure if the Reaper got actually or if the Zealot got actually spotted. All right, so it seems like not. And now Nice is gonna walk in with the Zealot to try to find a low ground expansion, but unlucky for him, TY is being all too safe in the high ground.
Yeah, and even just the first Hellion and a couple of Marines popping out should be enough to prevent the Zealot from doing a whole lot over here. The wall in just needs to be minorly repaired by like 1 or 2 SCVs, but like you said, Stalker was produced behind all of this, so it's going to be able to find that Reaper, at least push it back a little bit, and Reaper will get alive. Oh. Another Stalker on this side of the map already, though.
Yeah, and with the Zealot, they can really poke at these Marines and maybe get 1 or 2 further troubles. All right, the ramp vision is going to shield them for now. I'm not sure if Nice wants to go there again without shields on that Zealot. He's just going to have to pull back here, but he's going to get chased at this point.
Oh, yeah, the Reaper's going to come in from behind. It's going to try and cut off these units. Reaper Grenade also going off. The Stalker is going to get bounced up into the air. The Zealot goes down. He gets the Reaper at least. But this Stalker looks like with the body blocking coming out from these Hellions is not going to be able to get out alive, most likely.
Yeah, but could get 1 Marine. Oh, there's his friends. All right, and now these Stalkers can really take this fight, I think. Oh, two shots will kill 2 of those units, but Nice doesn't want to take any chances.
Yeah, I think the line of sight blockers really complicate things there because even though the Stalkers can take on those units, with the line of sight blockers there, you can't really exploit the additional range you have over those Marines. So makes sense, he's going to back off, but TY is doing anything but.
Yeah, TY is ready for aggression. You talked about this, Ravi. It's likely that he starts it, and here it is. It's going to be 8 Marines to start relatively early, and 2 Hellions kind of just moving out on the map. It's not a huge committal for TY, and remember his gas was stolen. He now is working off of 3 gases, but yeah, he doesn't really have much tech to speak of.
Yeah, ironically, even though I totally agree with that, Cats, the last thing I would expect for a Terran player that was like had a gas stolen early on was to go for Banshees, but oh my god, these Hellions plus the Marines are already getting quite a bit of damage done. That shield battery is already down to half of its energy, and he's still killing more probes.
Yeah, 8 workers have gone down to just this little squads of units. Oh, all right, the medevac gets taken down, which is a decent win for Nice, Ravi. I'm not sure if it's enough though. TY, I think, managing to do pretty well there for himself.
Yeah, 3rd CC is now also getting started up. Looks like TY has also spotted out the Observer, maybe. Starts pulling his units back over the main base. Nice has to do something at this point, right? If he doesn't do something, it's not like he had a 3rd behind this already started up and has been probing up with 3 chrono boosts on probes at a time. He actually really is committed to do something with these 4 gateways and Blink Stalkers.
Yep, here's gonna be his 3rd, but TY already started his as well, so Nice is gonna have to make some magic happen with these stalkers, or at least delay the third considerably from TY. Do you feel then, Ravi, with this third, is he in a bad position? Is he all right? Is that, you know, because is that TY getting ahead?
I mean, I actually like TY's position a lot more in this place. I think TY is actually pretty far ahead as long as he doesn't take big damage from these Blink Stalkers. And so far, I feel like he's been doing an okay job. He's going to lose, or I guess salvage the bunker, I should say, is a bit more accurate because he feels like the Siege Tank's going to provide that safety. And I mean, Paulo, there's not exactly like a proxy pylon or anything over here for the Stalkers to reinforce with. Even if he was able to get up enough Stalkers, he doesn't have vision of the main base anymore, so he can't like really like blink up and find another opportunity there, especially with the Raven now out, with denying any more of those observers. So I kind of feel like Nice just has to make like the super fast transition and try and play a bit greedy while just hoping TY doesn't go for like a big attack or like some kind of big pressure play.
Yeah, I mean, he is adding additional production. He is kind of slow to go up in tech. Nice, that is. He has not taken additional gases in his natural or third. This Banshee is gonna show up and announce there's Blink Stalkers. I'm not sure if the Observer is anywhere nearby. But yeah, now still no gases. So, and actually TY scans no gases as well. So I think he actually wanted TY to attack. Maybe because he's gonna have like a lot of charge slots, presumably, right? And if TY doesn't attack him, he's gonna have to attack into TY because his tech is gonna be so far delayed and so far behind that I'm not sure how he ever scales.
No, I completely agree with what you're saying. Like a mass charge lot army can be really powerful if your opponent is just on like these siege tanks and marines, because you can close the distance on those siege tanks very quickly. Hopefully you'll be able to hit them right before like the 1-1 upgrades and stim and everything finishes up like in the middle of the map. But even if you don't, like there's maybe a opportunity there. Now he's going to end up adding on that Templar Archive, so he tries to maybe keep TY at home for a bit with the Stalkers and the Warp Prism. Well, he really does want to buy some time though, because Storm is only now going to be starting up once he gets an opportunity to.
Yeah, I mean, is he even gonna start Storm? I guess he is. There's the Storm and Chrono boosted too, but it's... I don't know. I mean, he has so little gas to work with. He has had so little gas to work with this entire time. He is gonna be producing a lot of Zealots. And like I was saying, this is, I mean, kind of decent in a sense, though those Stalkers get taken down before anything happens. But yeah, if TY pushes out, I actually won't mind Nice's strategic position. Does he have enough? I don't know. I think he's been taking like kind of bad trades up until now, and we're talking about a GSL champion. But yeah, these Zealots want to engage out on the map. If TY just sits back, I feel kind of bad for Nice's chances. If TY just takes a fourth, then I don't know how you ever attack with Zealots into these chokes.
Oh, War Prism with the 4 Zealots. That was the thing that was also keeping TY from potentially actually moving out safely over here, not having to worry about the threat of that. So Storm is going to be finished up in time before this army gets to the other side of the map, but we actually saw how that engagement went last time, Paulo. I'm not sure the Storm is going to be able to save him if TY plays quite like he did in that last game.
Oh, and the Marine might have just spotted those Templars, but good on Nice this time around. At least he's gonna meet the army in the middle of the map, but there's only 2 Templars, and they're out of spells. Ravi. They're out of spells, man.
Well, you know, maybe TY doesn't know that they're out of spells. He's like, I see 2 Templar. There could be more. It's definitely going to be very problematic for him, but especially with the anti-armor missile. But TY ends up backing off as well. Like you said, he also has the ability to just transition out, macro up. He starts up his +2 weapons upgrade. Could start a +2 armor at some point as he adds on Ghosts. And what is going to be the play over here from Nice? He is adding on Immortals, but his Forges are going to be so late in comparison.
Oh, everything's gonna be so late, but nice bait from Nice. Very, very well done with the Warp Prism. It's gonna net him a couple of medevacs. Very, very cheeky, clever play by him there. That's the kind of tactic that you want to see from him, right? Like, be like, oh, did you really think I was that bad, TY? Here's your pay. But I mean, he's gonna need a lot more of that, I think, Ravi.
Absolutely. I think the trickery is gonna be pretty important here for him, but he's gonna be taking his 4th base out in the center of the map, and is able to at least get it down in position a bit before TY's 4th base is floated on over to any location, although it's getting very close to finishing up. Now, Warp Prism maybe going to look for an opportunity to move into the main base, but I think we're having 2 missile turrets already built in the main to try and deny these kind of drops from happening.
Yeah, another thing that I really love from the Taiwanese champion is that he just broke down some rocks in the middle of the map. That's going to open up the space, and that's actually going to be great for Zealots. He has a very Zerg-like army here, so he wants to get those big surrounds. He doesn't want the chokes. He doesn't want the EMP to be too effective too easily. So the more spread out, the better for him, and you know, he's doing his due diligence with that.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, and I really like that he's knocking down the rocks, but I am a bit worried about the longevity of this army, right?
Yeah.
Because charge lots are great in like small numbers, and in medium-sized army numbers, they do pretty well if you have like enough of them. When you get to large numbers, Paulo, they get in each other's way, right? You don't really have the surface area in your opponent's army a lot of the time, so I'm worried he's hitting that point of diminishing returns, and he really needs these disruptors or Colossus or something to be added on. He is finally getting up 2 of those disruptors at a time, so maybe he'll be able to get up into the super duper late game army, but maybe needs a bit more time to get up enough.
Yeah, and even then, he's always gonna have the supply of Zealots. Like I was saying, Ravi, I think that Nice's strategy was really hoping that TY would attack into him, and I think TY was too smart, right? He moved out, he kind of applied some semblance of pressure, but not really ever committing. He kind of recognized that this is kind of like a roach army, the equivalent of, right? It kind of just doesn't scale that well. And now TY has a very good, strong technical army. Let's see what he can do in this very open space.
Well, Storm's being used pretty early on because the Ghosts were leading the charge and able to get off an EMP on some of these units. Oh my god! The anti-armor missile and the EMP basically cover the entire army there for Nice. He cannot take a fight right now, but he's gonna try and find the Ghosts over here. He gets very far away from the rest of his army. Disruptor shot! Oh my god!
Nice.
Paulo, those are the kind of disruptor shots he needs to survive.
Yeah, oh my god, there's stuff going on all over the place. There's gonna be TY now attacking here with a little squad of units. A warping by Nice is gonna try to defend it. Nice had some really cool ideas. At the same time, he's gonna go on counterattack, but this choke, look at that choke by the Korean champion. It's just too good.
Yeah, he's gonna at least be able to defend back over on the top north side of the map. He has to cancel one of his bases. Charge lots don't want to get too far ahead of the rest of his army. Disruptor is now gonna be coming forward. TY getting flashbacks to that last disruptor shot. Has to be so cautious. Cannot let those kind of things happen, because that is how he will lose his leads in this game.
Yeah, most definitely. One thing that another cheeky move, and this shows that Nice is kind of trying for it. He had like a High Templar earlier hitting in the bush that got taken down while he was doing something else. But that kind of thing is super great, right? If he can continue to have the presence of mind to be thinking about the little things, then there's always a chance that he makes himself an opportunity to hit a really huge disruptor shot or storm on TY.
Man, actually a lot of the Ghosts just got taken down over there because 3 of them were at the front, 2 of them get sniped off by the Zealots, the last one by disruptors. And Nice has also got a decent sized army of these Archons and Charge Lots on the north side to at least buy a bit of time depending on how these Widowmine hits go, but load up into the main base. It looks like Nice is gonna have a few Zealots already warped in over there, right in time to help defend our Abuse, buy a bit of time, but probably needs a bit more.
Yeah, and there's no stalkers to punish the medevacs either. Not enough warpins, unfortunately for him. He's gonna have to send additional Zealots, but also underestimating this army once again. So the next warping of stalkers seems... No, it won't get to clean it! Oh, they weren't all attacking at once! This is so much money spending to defending this little squad of units.
I really wish he had just warped in like 1 or 2 DTs, because even if you get a scan, if they force a scan out, at least you're then trading for some of their economy or something. There's some investment or even just APF. Now looks like the DTs are going to reveal themselves over on this side of the map, and there's the scan coming on out. Should be able to help deal with that. Disruptors really need to actually get some big Novas off to buy some time.
Yeah, there's the first one. He's gonna have to really save the second one. Also using the shield battery overcharge already. TY attacking on the other side of the map. This base might have to be forfeit though. Nice is reacting and sending a lot of army down south. Again, a big drop onto the main at the same time though. This is a huge one, Ravi.
This is going to be really problematic. This is where the Temple Archives is as well, so he's going to end up immediately losing that. There's a recall coming on out. Remember, these Stalkers should have blade, but there's only 1 Stalker that I see right now, Paulo.
Yeah, and that's gonna make it impossible to punish those medevacs. And I mean, the stalker count has never been high, right? Like the only thing that's been high is the zealot count throughout this game, really.
Oh, Okay, Archon's gonna catch some of the medevacs on the retreat out. They're gonna sit in that dead airspace. And remember, all of this army supply that's over here on this north side, not gonna be around on the south side to help defend. And the one Immortal, one Archon, a couple of Zealots, and a Sentry, not enough.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That's the first time I saw that Sentry. I'm not sure when it was made or if it just survived the entire game, but I love it. You know, you want the Sentry for Guardian Shield. I'm not sure if it's the unit that should be anchoring that base. Beautiful bait by TY there, using the empty medevac to lead the charge. Gets taken down. He does not care at all. The rest of his medevacs get to unload, and this is looking better and better for the Korean champion. It's good game called on the side of